Good afternoon, everyone. It's 12:29 on the clock, going into 12:30, which is being in the present moment, going into union. And 12, of course, is the hanging man, being wise, seeing new perspectives. And I have some amazing messages, very profound, from the messages of the day that you need to stay tuned for sure, as well as a short union and a short twin flame read as well. So let's get started first. Let's take our deep breaths. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. You might want to hold it for a minute, as much as you can that you're comfortable with, and then let out all the stuck energy, all the trauma from your body. Another good way to allow some of the things in you that are not of you is to imagine a magnet above your head. It's not my idea, but it works really great. So imagine a magnet above your head, and you're just pulling up all the crap that's not you into it as you do this. So let's go ahead and take our deep breaths. Helicopter just passing over at 12:30, which is the union energy. Take another deep breath. Another deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to everybody. Okay, I'm going to roll the die first, and then we're going to get into these reads because they're very powerful messages today. All right, for the twin flames. Okay, we have the number 3, the lucky charm. We have again Pluto, which came up yesterday, profound transformation. And we also have Capricorn, about Saturn and restrictions, but also responsibilities, building, big business, taking responsibility for your own actions, and that profound transformation of the 3, which then is very lucky because you're purifying yourself. Wow, so the messages of the day here were amazing. I do want to show you the pictures. I don't know if you saw my tag yesterday of King Kong versus Curious George. Was actually a picture I took yesterday. Just looking for something that I can't find. But of course I found it. Okay. So the King Kong Curious George picture was taken yesterday. It is a cloud, and it so much looks like King Kong or Curious George. So there's a message behind that again this morning. I just wanted to show you this. This is a wedding picture of my parents. They were both Geminis, 7 years and 7 days apart. They both passed. And then we have the union read here, the Syrian Starseed deck, the 4D, 5D, and 6D, the Divine Feminine on the left, Masculine on the right, the bridge between in the center, incoming Divine Feminine, outgoing Divine Masculine, the underlying energies, and the closing energies. And then here is the Twin Flame read, again the Syrian Starseed deck. And here is message of the day number 1, which I did last night, and message of the day number 2 that I just did this morning. Okay, and then you have the 7 deck read in front of you from the Twin Flame read, which we'll get into that as well. Okay, so that was important, the King Kong message, because I just did an inner child meditation for a moment to ask for a message for you guys. And it was my little girl looking up, just like that King Kong or Curious George was looking at the 2 birds flying in great curiosity. So when I went into my inner child, she was looking straight up, kind of like the Storks card in the Lenormand Reverie deck. She was looking straight up at me, and I didn't know what she was going to do. She was just looking up, and then all of a sudden she jumps up high, to lay a kiss on me, and give me a big hug and then drop back like she got one over on me. She was like, ha ha, like I got you. And then all of a sudden she grew up into the twin, the Prince Charming, standing in front of you, giving you a kiss and loving you. So it's very much that energy of, I don't know why I showed you the picture of my parents on their wedding day, but that's definitely the energy of the union that's coming up right now. And so here is your first message of the day, which I did at 10:23 and 10:22 to 3, which is the Fool's Journey into the 23 of the King of Wands. And then at 10:28, I actually started it. So 10:28 is the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, the 28 of the Twin Flames, in that high vibration of the choice of path being at the Y in the road and choosing to ascend up. The underlying energy is the Power Lady looking out the window, waiting for something to arrive. And the first card was the two doves as one. It's the heart card, the Two of Cups card. The Power Lady writes a love letter to the Power Man, exposed in public as good luck charm. Puppy love, bringing up emotions of the loving lady and serious talk about commitment. Secret knowledge about abundance of the Power Man regarding death, patience, embalmment or entombment, and examination. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in the labyrinth that is nature, the different paths we take to get to the juicy center. Gossip and chatter and power in numbers when gambling to anchor in good luck. Loyal in direction to clearing the subconscious and to being well. Especially during Cancer season when the stars are aligned with loving lady, a serious talk on the merry-go-round, the rainbow journey, with horse and fox chase leading to the other side, the seriousness of marriage and what it means. It's not all fun and games, for in letting secrets out about love relationship, there are poisonous snakes rattling their way in for secret recipes of the two as one, the abundance of the Power Man, burdened by the 5D connection, the death connect without being dead, and fully energized, the loving man made public, and through wandering aimlessly, confused, a ship without water, after risking it all, to feed birds and their chatter with no emotion behind it. The polar bear is lucky and grounded, loyal in direction, and pushes the mountains out of the way in a slow but timely process. A slower but timely process in the time of Cancer, which is right now, or the subconscious. But the loving lady shines with rod and staff, get crackin', impatient for peace, spiritually, on a wise journey to maturity. The loving lady with wise counsel, contracted with fox and their family tree for growth. But the poisonous snake in the tree, there could be a stake as well, but the poisonous snake in the tree where the stork nests at the Y in the road with golden egg and looking up, surrounded by thieves and energy drains and poison and choices to make and burden of gifts. A gift that frees them, the loving man, to stability of home with polar bear, discerning, separating what's good and bad, with a breakthrough regarding obstacles, blocks, and mountains to climb, about masks and illusions of time, space, and subconscious well that lies beneath. Looking closer, the loving lady with dreams of rod and staff, magnification of the twin bridges after a wise spiritual journey, ending up committed to fox, the family tree, and the powers that be, all for the child or getting the child through college. So that was the first message. So now listen to the second message here. And by the way, I watched the movie A Perfect Fit last night. So that's interesting. So when I reread these things, they crack me up because they always resonate or refer to the messages I just brought up. So today, of course, is July 20th, the 20 of Judgment, and today adds up to the 32, which is the 6 of Wands, or the journey. So making decisions or judgments, which judgment is, it's just making a decision. But when you start making decisions for other people, that becomes the judgmentalism that we talk about, and judging yourself as well. You don't want to judge yourself. about your decisions, but ultimately that's how you grow, by making decisions on your path and then making new decisions after that. Again, the judgment card, the wake-up call, the announcements on the journey of good news to be brought in and leading the way. So this second message of the day, which was just before I did this video, and right before I did this at 10:33, a helicopter came up overhead, which it just came overhead again when I was doing this video just now. So a lot of helicopters coming out. 10:33 is the Wheel of Fortune, and 33 the Christ vibration, which there's definitely a message there in this one. This is very profound. It's a long message of the day, so you have to stay tuned for this one. This was done at 10:39 to 40, which is the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups, which are all about a message of love and being love, and that high vibration in the turn for the better. The message of the day with the underlying energy being the fish of abundance, and the first card out being the polar bear and the mountain. Abundance of the polar bear who moves mountains, removes obstacles without wanting recognition for it. Also, as the polar caps melt, the fish in such pure, clean water and strong, abundant mountains, immovable, allow protection for many creatures. As the mama bear climbs out of the melted ice water and onto the mountain, cohabitating gracefully, I was just getting crayfish or crabfish, or someone being crabby, cohabitating gracefully with the fish, her meal of the day, or deciding no longer to eat fish and heading for land and plant life, being one with the deer or the buck and the fish, where the buck rules the mountains and standing strong there. And by the way, the full moon is the buck moon coming up on the 23rd. And remember, we started this never mind. All right, so remember too that the 32, today's day is 32, and 32 is a reflection of 23, which is the King of Wands. So again, being one with the deer or the buck and fish, where the buck rules the mountains and standing strong, and the fish in the seas with flow. The bear takes a bath and a stroll to dry off. After an extra long winter, remember we said that they took a long winter here and they just woke up for spring, it's a late spring, being dizzy and bloated after that long hibernation, needing to get busy and load up for the next winter. The polar caps definitely a focus here, with wise counsel or TED Talks or talking Mr. Ed Talks about the viper in the land. And is this wise counsel actually the snake of the establishment, with a loyal friend willing to dive deep for them, to look closer, examine, and discuss amongst many? The ship out of water, the spaceship, the pie in the sky ideas, ungrounded, unfounded, with children who are naturally lucky in following their true north with open direction. Wise counsel or guides with the key to freedom, for loving lady with snake over her, with the powers that be over her home. After all, they have friends of the family, helping them make a breakthrough about what was discovered may not be what it seems. The three faces or split, the mouth or portal between and the magnetic field, two as one. Again, I just told you to imagine a magnet above your head. So here we have the split, the three-way split, or the three phases, and the split, the mouth or the portal between them of the magnetic field, two as one, choosing apart to come back together with support in numbers, tweets, and birds of a feather, with ideas that may be over the power lady's head or above Venus, two as one, or the Paramahamsa, her connection with her inner child, lucky lashes with getting wishes of rod and staff at 11 o'clock on the dot, which is double zeros or source energy backing up the 11 of truth and balance, which is justice. It's 12:44 on my clock, which is the hangman, grounding, integrating, and mastering of love, especially receiving it. It was just 14:44 on this clock. So 14 of the angels, and again the 44, and also triple fours of the angelic realms. So at 11 o'clock, wishes of rod and staff, cracking the whip impatiently, a blessing in disguise, giving spiritual direction. The moody blues with key to their guides, pinpointing the best time to connect at the mid-moons, just like a level where it is most balanced naturally, like a level is when you use a level to build something. Just like a level where north is the most balanced naturally to separate, which, I don't know what I wrote there. It just must be, it is. A level where it is most balanced naturally to separate polarity of the loving lady and the snake, again the polarities, that's eating away at home and community and stealing time away from home, family, and those loyal and waiting for you. A gift of doing shadow work and many breakthroughs, creating more space, good face, to look at the multiple faces and masks up closely. Medical appointments, taking a break, research and meditation and 5D connection with loving man after details of research got out, went their separate ways and now coming back around the mountain when she comes. Free-flowing fish as the bear moves the iceberg for them, only to find a snake lurking beneath. Still waters run deep. And now that you're near, promise your love that I've waited to share, and dreams of our moments together color my world with hopes of loving you. So that came up there. The loving man with American pie in the sky stuck on top of the mountain after the water levels went down. So he got to the top by no means of his own, just stranded there with Power Lady on the ride of her life over the rainbow where skies are blue and the dreams that you dream, that you dare to dream, really do come true. The inner child of the Divine Masculine comes together as the inner child of the Divine Feminine, two as one, to nest at the Y. That's so funny because that was my meditation I just did, which I wrote this before I did my meditation. Divine Feminine, two as one, to nest at the Y in the road, where there's no place like home. The golden egg delivery and sun breaking through, as doves become storks, so much more than they ever could have dreamed of alone. A journey of deliverance, the luck of the draw, the Irish, the genie, and 3 wishes that actually led me yesterday on my jog, but impatient to get to the park, to capture them and put them into a jar, to showcase their beauty in a fountain or monument, a secret garden built just for the 2 of us, with crimson clover over and over, with open direction just to the left of north, or just to the left of slightly northeast with room for error and open to all, leaving behind lashings and whips and losing patience with rod and staff to get to the church on time, just loving patience, peace, and spiritual maturity of the calla lily, California or Hindu goddess or Columbia, or a path, a route, a way, a road, a lane that is warm, because you are getting warmer on hide and seek. The path of the warm flower, the white fleur-de-lis that points north on the compass, a royal spade in auction bridge at 11:24, Justice and the Queen of Wands, to peep, to look while not being seen, or a bed, or to bed that flower, obscene. And literally the definition here of the calla lily was coming up as that royal spade in auction bridge, and literally the next card after that one was the twin bridges. So to peep and to look while not being seen, or bed that flower, obscene. At 11:24, as it continues, the fleur-de-lis on the compass needle tip, a royal spade in auctioning twin bridges, the next card dealt, up for sale. No, so needing an anchor of course, says Ed, the talking horse, before rolling the die, cut to the chase, about communication to the power man, about what's eating you up, regarding home and community, stability and the powers that be, the loyal family collapsing the patriarchy, or considered biting the hand that feeds them. But of course, this is power taking credit for controlling you. All that you are is because of their power, says them. Being authentic to who you are. That truth and love together are never wrong. To follow your heart, doing the work to discover your gifts, to shine your light even more, and discover the multiple faces and masks that want to control you because of burdens, and cause burdens, and block your light, especially away from the foxy, loving man, coming back together as one, with group who is walking into the sun, along with the power lady on the journey to unravel, to peel back layers of the lotus, the lily that parcels out a piece to all and willing to receive its blessings, the lily of water of Egypt and India that caused drowsiness and euphoria. It means to be washed, bathed, elegant, luxurious, fashionable, refined, or the date plum, the purification, the dark night exiting the matrix of the cyclone to enter the vortex, the inner child awakening to mirror themselves and come together to co-create deliverance of the cosmic golden egg in aqua waters of mothers, Mary and Sophia, i.e. Ms., and their lineage of Isis, Mary Magdalene, and Sarah. So now Mary Magdalene's daughter comes up here, and they say that, so the two sites that I went into were the Golden Age of Gaia.com and origin-science.org, and also marymagdalene.at I looked at as well. So the first site I went into, in the header, had just said that they got married, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, 24 AD during the wedding at Cana of Galilee, so I assume it was a group wedding. She coming up as being born 3 to 10 AD and died 63 AD. The second site said that actually they had 4 children. The first one was Sarah, and then Jesus, Justus 2, Joseph, Roma, Theo 3, and then Tamar was the 4th. And another site said her name was Sarah Tamar. So I looked up Sarah, and the way it was initially spelled here was S-A-R''H, which was very interesting. So I looked, but there was also another spelling when I looked up Sarah, and I always go into Wiktionary.com because it's got definitions around the world. So another word that came up was the S with the little squiggly S beneath the S, and then the upside down A, or an E, a lowercase e upside down, which is actually like an A, and then the R, and then H. So S-A-R-H came up, but with the upside down E. So that means explanation or interpretation, remark, comment, definition, or annotation. So it was very interesting because that S upside down E-R-H word, which I believe was Arabic, and if you define S-A-R separately from the H, it comes out pretty much to be the same thing, because S upside down E-R-H means explanation, and that's what I ended up getting from S-A-R and H, because it means S-A-R''H, I jump, leap, to become, ripen, to be ready, or to be cooked, to experience cold, pain, sores, and wounds in order to explain or preface. So in other words, S-A-R-H literally means explanation. So she is the explanation. So her generation will live on to explain Mary Magdalene and Jesus. The generations of becoming the sum of your parts with prayer and discipline, which means disciple of self. At 12:06, the hangman and the lovers, says Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Magnifying healthy growth publicly with commitment in the ring of fire. The circle of trust at 1207, which is the hangman and the chariot, the vehicle of ascension, the divine feminine. The circle of trust, committing to keep the flowers safe from harm until they grow enough to set themselves free, to be able to open the door themselves, and given a set of ruby red slippers to get them home when needed. In all directions of space-time continuum, the flower always blooms well, and burned bridges become Akashic records, the book of knowledge, a collective of stories about each's journey to find their true source point, 0 point, the point of no return and no refunds. But the knowledge on how to rebuild burned twin bridges even better than before. In the beginning, in the meeting or in the melting of the ice age, there was great abundance, which is now reduced to secrets in books. Families and burned bridges of the past, in fear of the secret getting out. They forgot along the way that there's nothing to fear but fear itself, Abe said. Which, Abe, doesn't matter. It doesn't solidify into low density. For after Abe, or AB, comes C, Christ unity consciousness, back to heaven on earth, new earth, like a refresh on your page, just shift. As simple as this, just begin, again and again and again, again, at 1217, which is the hangman and the stars that you are. So there is the second message for you, very profound. Okay, so now we're going to go into the union read and then the twin flame read. I'm past the point of no return. All right, where am I here? All right, so here's the union read. This was at 6:11, which was a significant time because actually that was a time that came up the night before when I didn't sleep. So I think I didn't fall asleep till 6:11. 6:11 is the lovers and justice, which again is truth and balance. 6 is also love, family, and community, very much of that community that Jesus had built with Mary Magdalene. The union energy of 40, 50, and 60 for 7:20, which is today, the 7 of chariot, the 20 of judgment, and the energies of ascension in the underlying energy, or the world, the central energy being the 10 of swords, and then the final energy being the 9 of cups. The world of ascension, the genie in the bottle, granting me 3 wishes on my jog again. So I wanted to bring this up. So I don't know if it was last week when it was exactly, but I told you that as soon as I went out for my jog, I saw 3 wishes flying together. So I followed them and I lost track of them at the end of my block that I went on my run because it went left. And then yesterday, I was 2 blocks up from my jog that I'd started where the 3 wishes came across my path again. Literally 3 big wishes stuck together. And I went to see if they wanted to come to me because initially they come to me, they tease me to come with them. So I followed them on my jog, but then they turned left where I normally turn right at the dead end, which was a message that came up yesterday or the day before to turn left at the dead end. So I turned left to follow the 3 wishes, but then I eventually lost them amongst the trees because I didn't see them anymore. So again, I saw the 3 wishes stuck together, but again, I didn't catch up with them. They were not meant to be caged. The bliss in the center of getting 6 rays, blue rays, and their wish, self-satisfaction, and hosting the place of creation with Thai monk chef or belly dance at the Middle East restaurant. Bliss or shame, guilt or pain, the cycle complete of pain, so to speak about your 3 wishes to finalize your emotional journey. The cherry on top is the 10th cup, the flyer. You thought the 9th was the missing one, right? Because the 8 of cups is where you're looking for something that's missing in your life, the 9th cup. So you thought the 9th was the missing one, but it wasn't what was missing. What was missing is that you didn't even realize there was a 10th and so on. that there is no end to bliss, love, ease, and grace. The incoming Divine Feminine here was Luna, the Four of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles. The Divine Feminine subconscious in Cancer, at night building to the full moon on July 23rd, where then Sam the Illusionist had just said there's a galactic meeting on the 24th, for a buck moon release, the Divine Masculine's heart in the crystal bat cave at night, and at work co-creating the Four of Pentacles plus the Three of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles, which is the Divine Masculine's heart in the Batcave, and the Three of Pentacles is the workplace of co-creation. It's also the Emperor and the Empress. To get to the Seven of Pentacles, the Three Pentacles plus Four of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles is the Divine Feminine's heart in the E-Tower. The Divine Feminine with the world in her right hand. In the left is a surprise, in the dance of the Earth and the Moon. The lunar cycle over. At the ocean at night, in cave, at Trinity, or Tri-Ni-Tai, try a show of power and gratitude, or Tri-Nitty, which means insane, being dumb, foolish, idiotic, fussy, or elegant and spruce and shining your light. At night, connecting with the Divine Masculine. The 4D here is the Five of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords. The Divine Feminine heat waves and the humid sun, with fans and group drama or a need for circulation. The Divine Masculine risking passing downloads with two men watching, or delivery route, or wizard dumping things from their website, making space for the new coming in from the 6D wish that was granted. Bridging with Sovereign, the Seven of Pentacles of the Divine Feminine's heart, and two to juggle with for 7 and 2. 72 by 2 is the 144, wondering whether or not to give part of her heart or the Seven of Pentacles, the Seven Pentacles, away. In the Garden of Eden with wise, pure hoot, planning plants needed and ice for planned celebration. She dealing with groups and he with ice perhaps, bridging in sovereignty, doing what comes naturally to you. The 5D here is the Knight of Cups, the Ten of Swords, and the Five of Cups. The Divine Feminine Knight of Cups bending over backwards to create a green room vortex, to hold space, to be love in infinity cup or pool, or shark attack, first thing in the morning. Being love as the Divine Masculine is grieving or dealing with emotional child, or as his emotional child or a sad child, unable to look up at the Two of Cups, and bridging by ending pain or allowing the bliss to come in, perhaps a massage at 657, which is the Lovers, and the Three of Swords separation or heartbreak. The 6D here is the Two of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups. The Divine Feminine surrender to all that is, even giant apes or auras where land meets sea. The Divine Masculine manifesting the Ten of Cups, not only 9, for the flyer to shine, and I actually wrote sign of the sine wave, for the flyer to sine wave and see over the top. Waterfalls and rainbows or water adventure, bridging with the Queen of Pentacles, waiting patiently for him or her side, acclimating to the temperature over there. And by the way, it's not just waterfalls and rainbows, it could be a cheerleader as well, or water adventure, bridging with the Queen of Pentacles, waiting patiently for him on her side, acclimating to the temperature over there in their new space. The Divine Feminine creating heat or small waves that create a cool tidal wave of surrender for land to meet sea with a lot of sexual emotion. The Divine Masculine here passing information about loss or regret, or hide and seek in the woods, but counting to 10 took forever. But finally it did, and wow, is that different from 5. It's time to manifest a whole lot of fulfillment, and the bridge being the Sovereign sorting out their abundance, he ending pain with the 6D maturity and groundedness of the Queen of Pentacles, at least willing to now face him if he'd stop looking up for a minute. Which was funny because that was what my inner child was doing. She was looking up at me, and then she became the Divine Masculine. So maybe he's been looking up because now he's seeing all this stuff in the sky that he never noticed before. The outgoing Divine Masculine here is the Page of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, and the Three of Cups, where Curious George, in energetic exchange of Color My World, a reunion at a social gathering, But 3 of 9 cups is only just the beginning. We've only just begun to live. So that was coming up from the Carpenters. And the Divine Feminine with Pisces and Cancer on her side, and the Knight of Cups being love. The Divine Masculine with no majors on his side, only the Page of Pentacles ready to start over again and manifest. And the number of this read was 75, which is the 7 of Pentacles, the Divine Feminine's heart in the E Tower, with the horizontal pillars being 21, 15, and 39, the World, the Devil, and the Knight of Cups. And the vertical pillars coming out to 4, 3, 7, which is 43, 7, that's the way it's written. The 19 of the Sun, 22 of the Fool, 8 of the Dance, and 12 of the Hanging Man. The 4 and 3, of course, of the Emperor and the Empress, and the 7 of the Chariot. And the message coming out as the cycle complete with shadow work and being love in the Divine Feminine's heart in the E Tower. The Emperor and the Empress in the Chariot ascending toward the Sun in the Fool's Dance to hang out with the Divine Feminine. And this was all at 7-11, which is the Chariot. And again, justice of truth and balance. And I'm sweating like crazy right at this moment. A lot of masculine energy coming in. It's 1:05 on the clock, which is also the 10 of 5, right? 5, it said 10 is so much more than 5, and 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, and 5 is the Hierophant, the commitment. And the 10 is that high vibration, 1010 trill. And we have 3626 here, which is the Atlas of the Weight of the World ending, right? The burden. And the 26 of the Page of Wands, which is picking up after that with new inspiration. Or perhaps asking someone out on a date. So with the Syrian Starseed deck cut and dealt at 7:29, which is the Chariot and the 3 of Wands, where we started out this morning, when I started the video, 29 is the 3 of Wands, being present in the moment. And then at 7:44, again, grounding and integrating and mastering of love, especially receiving it, of crystals comes up, which is being Christ-like, or of purging, the cry stalls. And tales came up, or stories. Heads or tails are stories. And then I finished clarifying at 7:57 to 58, which is the 3 of Swords to the 4 of Swords, the separation to the connection in the 5D, and sticky. The cards are really sticky at that time. You can't get them apart. They're sticky. You can't separate separation from connection, right? Because it's the polarity of the connection. That's very interesting. But you can merge them together by sticking them together. All right, so we have Karma as the only major arcana in the read. So Aquarius was the most significant major here regarding judgment and karma. And we also had Ascension, Luna, and Abundance after the read, which is the World, the Moon, and the Empress. And before the read was Transition or Death, and Alchemy, or the Temperance card. There were 4 Wands, 2 Swords, 1 Cup, and 3 Pentacles. So a lot of Wands and Pentacles, a lot of passion and movement, and manifestation of practical things, time, money, and energy. And then we have the King of Swords and the Queen of Wands and the Page of Cups in the read, all very different. The King of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Page of Cups of that innocent love. Before the read, the 9 of Wands, or the Wounded Warrior, came up, and after the read, the 9 of Swords came up, which is the one suffering in silence. And then the numbers and the code line were all about love partnership, with double 2s, double 7s, double 8s, and double 9s. The 2s were most significant here. And then the 789, which is the 5D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 789 is the 5D. And also the number 5, very significant here, because that's the switch, the shift, the change, the freedom, the expansion. The 22 of the Fool, the 77 of the Sovereign, the 88 of the Twins dancing, and the 99 of compassion, universal selflessness, the collective consciousness, and endings, which there is no real death. It's only shift and transition. So the message regarding the love partnership here and the other numbers, the code line came up as number 61, which was coming from 2, 1, and 58, which is the High Priestess, the Magician, and the 58, the 4 of Swords, the 5D connection between them, coming out to be 61, which is inherent risk, taking a risk to love yourself first. 61 also happens to be the year I was born. So in this love partnership, the numbers that came up besides 4213, which is the 2 of Cups and the death or transition, the 22 of the Fool, the 789, and the 5, were the 12 of the hangman, the 77 of the sovereign, the 88 and 99, the 25 of the knight of wands, the 57 of the three of swords, the 33, no, the 23, I'm sorry, 23 of the king of wands, 35 of the wounded warrior, 9 of wands, the 56 of the two of swords, and the 67 of the knight of pentacles, the loyal humble servant. So regarding this message and love partnership, which was split up, someone might have spit up too, or just spitting up their words. So love partnership was broken up into LO and VE, just like the love symbol on the campus at Penn, which is funny. And then it was coming up to LO and VE, but partnership was broken down into PARTN and then ER-ship, which is like a mercy ship. So the message coming up here was the Christ egg. Again, the Christ, the golden cosmic egg in your heart, surrounded by the aqua water, which is the mother energy. The Christ egg, a voice, sound, the mother's eye, and her fire, water, and we, right? It's not just I or you, but we, the sages to show power. Ace, the king of swords, which is mastering of thoughts and words, in the 5D connect of purging. Remember, the orbs is also blind men and orphans. To deny wisdom of 2 in their show of power, acing mastering of thought and words, in 5 walking away regarding a love partnership. Now, there's a couple different messages here. Now, queen number 2 shows their power, acing the king of wands, or mastering of thoughts and words, blind men and orphans, and on break from work in a love partnership. Or new sage, clearing, wise one, the Canadian $2 coin, 1 king of swords, hierophant, and walking away here in a love partnership or from a love partnership. So low partner or low part in something, the now moment, a holy place of awakening, the mercy ship here. We start here with the 2 of wands, the twin flames upright, and beneath that 5 cards down, starting from the bottom up, was transition upright, or the death card, 9 of wands reversed, alchemy reversed, which is the temperance card, the 8 of wands and 7 of swords both upright below the 2 of wands, the twin flames. With death, transition portal of surrender to or of the fallen angel in energetic exchange of passing downloads to your twin flame. Frustrated, blocked, or unable to understand, yet the page of wands is inspired to stand up to others about the third-party heartbreak, home, or in union. The Knight of Pentacles offering or proposing to lover, an enemy jealous, but the page of wands is in bliss, with the 7 of cups synchronicities of purging, suffering, and silence, or perhaps a sister, in disconnect or at a distance, the magicians reversed, insecure, in energetic exchange with their twin flame. The 2 in disconnect or at a distance without tools in that energetic exchange or arrows of love, with cards being held close to their chest and ungrounded by this, discussing DNA behind closed doors, trying to end the nightmare of the King of Wands reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed in bliss, which is so much more than the Mile High Club. The King of Wands reversed without little lizard on platform is tired or sick or pissed at the Queen of Swords reversed, who keeps repeating herself. Soulmates, and beneath that, very soon, ending the pain cycle. In the downturn or retrograde or twist of fate, obsessing over the energetic exchange, the arrows of love, or lots of communication and our travel back and forth, with romantic tie, flame, and inequity of the relationship. Flame with the same sense of humor or elbow, a thorn in DNA tree, matching shoes and ties, with one and left over to suffer unfairly, or partner with depression or alcohol issues. Flames in DNA of the Garden of Eden, but another with apple cut open, but put back together again, which may have poison in it. Or romantic tie healthy, and another drank the water. Surrender comes up of 91, and beneath that, creativity. The downturn of debt or inequity and not sharing. At 841, the dance and the new love of self-love, spiritual love, and the new love. At 842 then, being the 2 of cups and the dance, manifestation of dreams. The world is complete, the cycle is done, with the wounded warrior down on one knee with good news to the chariot or cancer, or about a move or trip, down on knees praying in need of peace, without dark birds, with secret passion. A boat out of the water and cups left on the grass, if those dark birds would just go away, needing to use their intuition with the twin flame in energetic exchange and bliss to correct the imbalance and surrender at 9:02, which is the Hermit and the High Priestess. The underlying energy here is transition into powerlessness, of dependence, with the King of Pentacles upright, or end with the Nine of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Pentacles upright, perhaps kids or employees. And released, the Knight of Pentacles upright, who may be offering to one who refuses to disclose. The Page of Swords message of separation with the Queen of Wands reversed, at home and at work, awake and rising above, going crazy and coming out. And ultimately it comes out that the Queen of Wands reversed and the Hermit reversed, it looks like they're at home and work, but they're totally staying apart from each other if they're working and being at home together. Sovereign with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, of loss or dysfunction, and the King of Swords reversed is working with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, who's walking away, needing to make peace with the Queen of Swords reversed. In the recent past is the Page of Cups upright, which is that perfect innocent love, or a message of love, puppy love, with heart open wide, and the Knight of Wands rushing back after seeing synchronicities that make them unhappy being alone, or dissatisfied, perhaps some arrogance coming out there. A death of a family member, sudden and unnatural, and lots of back and forth about hiding or cheating with secret passion, and the King of Swords reversed in a sudden event or epiphany, judged or called out with an offer of time, money, and effort, or a loan or payoff from secret passion, with Libra and or Pisces in chart. The Page of Cups upright and the Knight of Wands upright, unhappy alone, the Dark Knight or Scorpio with loss of family or big money with sudden temptation in energetic exchange, perhaps cheating on Pisces reversed and King of Swords reversed, or Virgo or Aquarius reversed, or Aquarius or Star or Healer. The foundation here being the Queen of Wands reversed out in the cold, with the fallen angel or as the fallen angel, or Sag reversed, in surrender to the present moment. The central energy here is the Ace of Wands reversed, with the Queen of Wands reversed, frustrated in energetic exchange, with Star in disconnect or at a distance, draining or needing sunshine, offering time, money, and effort or a new life, to the Magician reversed and the King of Cups reversed, letting go to fix or make amends. Pisces reversed, Gemini reversed, and Virgo reversed all here, and Aquarius upright. The challenge being the King of Swords reversed, and the Knight of Wands upright rushing into the rescue, the Divine Feminine in the 5D, on the journey with a plan, and the Knight of Cups reversed, jealous or rejected, and the other feeling guilty and kept to themselves. At the workplace, independent or sovereign female with all she needs, putting it all out there to be touched. The Page of Cups unable to express their emotions about this, and no longer going to be silenced or muzzled about passionate exchange. The Magician reversed, hangry in jealous rage, sexually out of control, in need of their sunshine, or overexposed, and the Knight of Swords reversed may be lashing out like the devil with a gift of a third party at 9:33, the Hermit and the Christ vibration, or one standing up for themselves at 1:18, which is the Magician and the Moon. So now, at 9:33, in the crowning position, is karma of twins receiving innocent love, in need of forgiveness, keeping cards close to their chests, with the Queen of Cups upright post-war, with a secret passion, going crazy and coming out, the Three of Wands situation, and juggling Aquarius and Twin, the Page of Swords stepping up to express dreams of healing them, no longer waiting for the other to wake, the King of Pentacles without tools, with the Queen of Wands reversed, jealous of another, allowed to hug him, or unwanted or wanted advances, and walking away at night in need of strength, with the Page of Pentacles opportunity to judge or announce, starting over, getting off the fence, With the King of Swords reversed and the Empress upright, soon for the twins is the Five of Wands upright, where the heat is on, dumping a load after a happy ending in a split, divide, or needing the truth and cutting through the BS. With the Knight of Swords reversed, verbally abusive, to the Emperor reversed, who may be unfair and released, but the blocked from going back to work. So someone may have been released from prison and then, which was great, being free, but then they were being blocked from going back to work. That could be as well. There's some definitely negative energy here with the Emperor. And the Knight of Swords can be the Emperor and his toxic mouth, but it also can be a couple different people here. We have the Knight of Swords with the Emperor and the Justice card both reversed. So there could be red coats, the powers that be there, with Aries and Libra, and that axis there between Libra and Aries. So there's some unfairness and release, but blocked from going back to work. The Empress is upright with the kids on a trip, perhaps, or Taurus upright and Cancer reversed, twins. Or conflict with the Knight of Swords, lying or lashing out or holding their tongue, with the Emperor reversed, out of control or just not doing well, and unfair. Or Aries and Libra both reversed, and Taurus upright and Cancer also reversed here. The twin flames seeing themselves as the Two of Pentacles in surrender in this deck to the upside down world, the Divine Feminine in the 5D, or drowning with no peace, or someone may have drowned in a pool. That could be coming up too. I hope that's not true, and I'm sorry if that has happened, but that is definitely coming up here. So either feeling like you're drowning with no peace, or perhaps a drowning happened, and this could have been something that happened a long time ago that someone never got over. Or fool fell on their face or from grace, lacking faith that the Queen of Pentacles reversed, or Cancer Leo will love them after they were broken and weak. True love comes up, and keep an open mind, as well as express your love. Release your ex, and this could be the one. All came up for the twins. Around them or how they're seen is the Nine of Swords reversed, suffering in silence or dealing with their sister in a divorce, breaking a contract, or breaking the mold in a religion, establishment, in order to start over on a quest to fight for their twin. And the block being the Eight of Pentacles, working with crystals or released from prison, restrictions with guard at work to keep the Emperor reversed and Judge reversed out while they're working. Love partnership, and even more so is karmic completion here. After walking a fine line, fell off the edge, edging off the cliff more in a breakup, disconnect, or at a distance with love. The Divine Feminine's heart at the E-Tower, open to the King of Swords reversed, with the tongue of the devil and gifts and no joy. The King of Cups reversed, unable to sleep, but rising above, or awakening and coming out to complete the cycle with the Empress or Mother, at night abundant, or needing to get closure by bringing up subconscious wounds about the Empress and or abundance, in need of peace as the light in the storm. Electric awakening or sudden strike and wake-up call. The twin flames and the Queen of Wands reversed, surrendering to the suffering in silence or purging to open their heart. The Page of Cups is upright, that innocent love, but also frustrated, without inspiration, unable to speak their emotions. The challenge being the King of Swords reversed, conflicted, aligning with forgiveness of judgment of the Divine Feminine in the E-Tower, coming out with the world upside down at night, and the Empress in need of peace, with the three-way situation and heartbreak in the awakening at 10:01, which is a reflection of itself, of the turn for the better, and the Magician. And at 10:03, the twin flames in puppy love, secret passion, and the Queen of Wands reversed, frustrated, unable to understand karma, and the challenge being the King of Swords reversed, surrendering to the waves and hot pursuit to end the suffering in silence or end a situation with a sister and align with the Divine Feminine's heart that is opening up. Pisces reversed, Cancer and Taurus both upright here, without peace, in separation, needing closure of the subconscious, with Mother Nature needing peace in the storm out at sea. The focus here is the Queen of Wands reversed, below the Ace of Wands reversed in the middle, frustration with anger and innocence of the twin flames, surrendering to the pursuit of happiness in the Divine Feminine's heart, opening wide. The Queen of Wands reversed and the Hermit reversed, like I said before, are keeping their distance at home and work. So there are your messages, and we're going to pull a few oracle cards now. We have the spirit animals, of course. They're always very helpful with the oracle messages. I can't believe how much I was just sweating. So there's a lot of masculine energy here. And again, we have Capricorn, Pluto, and wasn't it the Capricorn? Was it Jupiter or Saturn that was conjunct with Pluto that January 5th or 7th, whatever it was last year? I'm getting that energy here, but with the 3 of luck, 3 of coming together in profound transformation of Capricorn, and I have Capricorn was conjunct at the 1221 portal, so that's coming up. And that was referred to as the Star of Bethlehem, as Mary and Jesus were just coming up, and Sarah. All right, so from the Animal Spirit deck, what is the message for the twins here? Let's take another deep breath. Let it all out. What is the message here for the twins? Okay. The crow, very spiritual message here. And look how lit up in colors the whole world is, right? That this is the collective awakened, okay? All of the dark energy has been pushed out into the ethers. So you may be feeling this because you guys are the ones, circling the earth as the grid holders. So you may be feeling this dark energy being dispelled from the earth plane as we go into the fourth density here. And then we have the fish again here, which was the one card that started the message of the day read with the abundance. So the fish, and the fish never stops moving. We have the vulture here too. Hold on. I have to see what else they're bringing up for me before. Okay. There's another set of cards coming up too. By the way, the bottom is the octopus here, who needs to set boundaries. And then we have the tarantula below the octopus. And they both look like they have a lot of legs, right? Only one is there. Oh, they're actually both 8 legs. Look. So there's 8, 8. Oh, that's Lion's Gate. It's the underlying energy. Needing to create boundaries after the attack. So here was some kind of attack or group, right? This is some kind of fight or, an accident that happened that you couldn't look away from, or something so beautiful you were just mesmerized by it. Well, that's the background, and the hawk was behind that. So remember I had my bird picture too. Don't forget the birds that I showed you on my tag that were reflecting each other, which I didn't touch that picture. It was an actual picture. So that's the hawk energy with the reflection causing a fight. And then the 2 8-legged creatures coming up representing August 8th or Lion's Gate here. And this one being, the first one being very low chakra energies of all the red colors with a little bit of yellow. And then the octopus has his thinking cap on, has all the rainbow colors in it, opening up their crown. They're learning their lesson. Ah, the octopus teacher, my octopus teacher. When the student is ready, the teacher will come, and the octopus is here with their guard on, right? They have their protection on. They have their thinking cap on. That's so cute. All right, so these are the first 3 coming up together. Very different energies, right? So the vulture cleans up the mess. The crow protects and sends spiritual messages. And the ship, there's something about the ship with the fish. The fish is looking up. They're looking up at the ship. The fish doesn't stop. That's usually their issue. Now we have the red moon here, the red crescent moon, which is that buck moon. It's very lower chakra root oriented because it's the grounded divine masculine of the buck moon. And here is the fish looking up at the ship that's stuck. And look at all the, this is again the dark water. So the dark energy coming off, just like in this picture, the dark energy is coming off of the earth because it's been displaced by this positive energy of the light. It's the same here, but in the water, it's been displaced with these, the grays and the underwater, the secret caves and things like that, and the ships under the water are displacing the water also. So here's what's going on with the earth, but also under the sea, there's still some dark energies displacing water that's also affecting you in a negative way. So I guess they want you to understand that as well. And then we have the vulture, of course, who comes in afterwards to clean up the mess. Right? Because remember, there's always two sides of the story. Yours, and there's three sides, right? There's yours, mine, and ours. This is the yours, mine, and ours. The vulture doesn't care who's right. They just want your mess. So there you go. And then another group of cards came up here. Let's see what they have to say. We have the butterfly of transformation. And of course, I love this picture because it always looks like a bee who doesn't know they're a butterfly. And then the turtle who knows that they're slow and they're telling you, don't box me in. I'm a box turtle. Don't box me in by calling me a box turtle, right? I'm a turtle. I'm not just a box turtle. I may be slow, but I'm also much more. And then we have the sea serpent, which is the energy of the sacral chakra coming in here. And again, trying to fake you out that the serpent's not closed, that the rainbow bridge isn't sealed, but it is. Okay? They're keeping an eye on this. But remember, there's still secret negative energies that are still being displaced from the world. And they're still working on some of that. But overall, we're sealed. Don't believe this disconnect. It's not actually real. And you notice the connection between these two. The lines or the background are the same. And we have Lionsgate coming up, which is bringing up all these lower chakra energies again and saying, don't be fooled, right? Because we're in the upper chakra energies. We have the new earth here. Don't be fooled by the lower energies that come up to be let go at Lionsgate, because there's still some negative energies that are hiding below, either in the water or at the poles, but most of them have been shipped off. So let's see here. The transformation has happened, but remember, right after the butterfly becomes a butterfly, they're vulnerable when they first change. And the turtle is slow, so they're vulnerable in that way. The earth itself is vulnerable, Mother Gaia, because the dark keep wanting to reopen the connection again. And the lion is vulnerable because Lionsgate is where everyone invades their den. Very cool message there. So remember, the underlying energy is the Lionsgate with their thinking cap on, right? They have their rainbow thinking cap on, which means their crown's fully open. And this is the dark and the light on 8/8. It's like the bridging of the polarities coming together. And the lion is ready. Like he's ready. He's got all his defenses set up. And his spies, his third eye here. And the turtle's like, don't bother me with that stuff. That's all your end of the deal. And here's the butterfly is over here busy transforming and vulnerable. So their job is to get strong. So each one has a different job here at Lionsgate. And the lions are ready, no fear. So that's a really cool message. All right, so let's pull this side. All right, so I have to pull, I'm going to read the crow to you first, because that's a very spiritual message that came up first. And then we're going to pull from the Journey of Love. The crow, of course, is air. And the crow is spiritually strong, creative, and watchful. The crow has been long a symbol of magic. The crow personality is drawn to the supernatural and is a gift for seeing the unseen, knowing the unknown, so it's the lookout tower. It is said that the crow holds within its mind's eye the three realities, the past, present, and future. The crow energy is potent and should be only tapped into when the mind is clear. Those with crow tendencies must balance their lives with a healthy diet, joyful friends, and regular self-study. When they're in balance, they're psychic, strong, and clear, but if they're out of balance, they're ungrounded and hypersensitive. To bring back into balance, daily meditation practice for the crows. So again, everyone has their own purpose here. So again, in these first three, the fish is looking up at the ship that's stranded, right? Because the water levels have dropped because of the dark energies that are also clearing below the seas. But also getting the this is their job, to show us, because of the way they're behaving or moving or not moving, because they never stop, If you see fish that are slowing down, it's because of the negative energies are at that spot. So this is a way to locate where the dark energies are keeping their secret hideouts, because the fish aren't being as fast as they usually are. There's a lot of negative energy being dispelled from where their location is. So the fish are going to be the tell. Very interesting. And the vultures are just ready to go in for the kill after the fish identify the location. Here are the psychics identifying the locations, and then the fish, once you get closer, will tell you more. They're the tell. And then here's the vultures or the military ready to go in for the capture, that kind of energy. All right, let's see what the Journey of Love has to say for you guys. Everybody's like everyone's got their mission right now. They have their mission, they know what they are, and they're telling each other just trust each other, to know they know what they're doing. And the lion is definitely ready, and he's got his psychics at his back. They're his team. They're his protectors, or the psychics, the third eye. And the octopus has their boundaries up with their crown open. Okay, our octopus teacher telling us about the fish. Oh, that came flying out. Oh, so smooth. The choice, smooth. I don't know if it's a choice. It came out really fast and quick and smooth. And it's like right, this could be many things. It looks like a tidal wave, or like the green room of a surf, right, making that circle of the vortex. But remember, it's the choice card, which came up the other day. It's the 62 of the imprisonment. It's always your decision whether you want to stay in prison or you want to free yourself. But I also am getting like a Chinese soup spoon. I don't know why I'm getting that here, but the ladle, or a Chinese soup spoon, or even like a note that's really fast, like a 16th or 32nd note that's real, or even faster, right? Like a 64th, it's so quick you can't even hear it. The choice, in a split second, you change your life. And the sensual awakening, there's the 64th note that I just said. The sensual awakening of the music, the sound, all of the smooth, look how smooth they all are, which that was significant because that just came up. Hold on, I have to see which cards. Okay. So these are all the same little, like this is magnifying for you all of these separate entities here coming together, but in a really smooth way. You see how when they flow within each cell, how smooth the transition is to come and bump up to another. It's when they have hard edges that they hurt each other. But when they're all smooth as silk like this, they can bump up to each other and never hurt each other. It's like bumper cars being padded in this sensual awakening. But remember that note that is really high pitched and it's really quick, that you can, in making the choice, all it takes is that split second to come together with others in that sensual awakening. And notice what's between. So not only do we have the 64th note, but we have between 62 and 64. What is the missing link here? Is the 63, which is the suffering and silence, right? We let that go. We just let that be the space between. And then these two also want to be seen. But first, let me show you the bottom of the deck. Bottom of the deck is Legacy of Light, which is 53 of the Knight of Swords. And again, there's that energy of the Shokure kind of energy. The loops, the energy loops. And there's like Jesus holding their sleeping bag, right? And they're holding someone else who's very down on their luck over here. So in one arm, Jesus is holding someone who's down on their luck. In the other arm, he's holding like a sleeping bag or that ball of light, right? That energy ball, holding space. And there's the question mark, holding space again. 25 is the Knight of Wands, the seed of the heart, which is the question mark. It's also the gold and the green and the blue, so it's all the upper chakra energies that he holds. It's like they're showing you that this is what he's holding here, okay? But you only see the gold part. You don't see all the higher chakra energies. You just see him grounded in the desert. Legacy of Light with the 53, which is the catapult the split second. It only takes a second. The 53 is the Knight of Swords, being the messenger of truth. It only takes a second to change your world. That's the underlying energy. And then the other two cards coming up are very upper chakra energy. And these came up yesterday. The Rings of Time of the old man or the old woman with the bird head, which references the intellectual life that we're leaving. The 44 of the grounding, integrating, mastering of love, especially receiving it. But this is also can reference boredom of someone who's stuck in a wheelchair. We're leaving that energy behind, but we're actually fusing it with the new. This is the old masculine and the new feminine, her grace, the 17 of the star of the show. That's so smooth as silk. This was smooth too, but we're letting go of the red. She's got no red here. She's only the blues and purples, right? So even though the old wise man is now wise because they've lived a long time, we're coming into the feminine energy of not needing to wait a lifetime to gain this wisdom. The 17 of the star, shining your light, connecting with our galactic friends. Again, Thoth has also come up in other messages and meditations from other people that Thoth and Metatron, which were once the same energy, have split, where Metatron is now separate from Thoth, which is the old way of doing things, and Metatron going forward is the new. And I've always, since the beginning of the journey, been getting that Metatron's leading the men and Michael's been leading the women, or the divine feminines. So Metatron and Michael here. And remember, that's so funny because Metatron is sound, right? The thunder and lightning. The rings of time, which is the sound. And then the lightning of her grace, right? The lightning that reaches out to touch you. Reach out and touch someone. So yeah, some really beautiful energies here. And Princess Grace has come up more than once this week, so that energy is coming up too. The sensual awakening of the 64th note, leaving out the suffering and silence, allowing that to be the space between. The space between the wisdom of the ancients and the stars of the new. The masculine and the feminine, however you want that to go, because it's the masculine and feminine within each of us, not just in the man and the woman. So there's the original two cards, or the sensual awakening of making the choice, of being smooth instead of rigid. And look how smooth all of these cards are, in order to merge the old with the new, right? The wisdom of the old and the grace of the new. Really beautiful energies there. All right, and now we have to read you the choice again. And I think I read this the other day, but you need to hear it again, I guess. The choice. There's a choice that you need to make. You're aware of it already, or it's coming into your awareness very soon. Embrace the unknown and say, yes. You have the opportunity to enrich your world, to receive and therefore be able to share much more. If anxiety or fear arises, guilt or shame, treat it as the cleansing of your emotional waters, as they receive so much more inflow from the divine ocean. Let the old layers rise to the surface of your awareness to be washed away. So there we talk about the purification of the, was it the calla lily or the lotus? The lotus. So it seems to be so much in the context of your own emotional waters. It's not so much at all when compared to what the great ocean is capable of holding. So let the divine ocean take the old, washing it away from and replenishing you with the new, that you may serve life all the better. So again, all the other messages were coming up around that same thing. That you're going to be so much more than you could even imagine by doing it with another. But also about expanding within yourself, with your inner child. This oracle brings you guidance. It's safe to choose now. There's no wrong choice, just a choice that resonates with your heart. If it's challenging you, that is an opportunity for you to let the divine cleanse and lift you into a vibration where you feel at peace with your choice, where you can accept the grace it will bring you. Do this now. It's your time to step up, make your life easier on yourself, and open to love in a more trusting way. Come now, the divine is calling you to play. And notice that grace came up again, and that's not the grace card, so it brought in all the cards that came up. The poem reads, our lives are measured in choices we've made along the path we call living. Each compass point a possibility, the fleur-de-lis. Each step an opportunity, seemingly random. Each decision moves us inexorably inexorably, in a direction both unknown and yet somehow familiar. For upon reflection, the strength we find in choosing or making a decision, a judgment, or the surrender of letting all unfold leads us to the place we started from when we made that first choice to be here again. Okay. Drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature, and do what you're called to do. Follow your own guidance, most of all, and last of all. And be good to yourselves, and rise and be love. I'll see you soon. Have an amazing day. Bye, guys.